Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 7th in our 2019 webinar series for 2019, yes. I'm your host, Lionel Grant, and today's webinar is titled ArcGIS Online for Real-Time Situational Analysis. In this presentation, we look at ArcGIS Online, the user types, what that means. We look at field operations with ArcGIS. Then we'll review the ArcGIS field apps for the operations. We look at a use case, and then we'll take your questions. ArcGIS Online user types. What does that mean? Well, those of you who are already familiar with ArcGIS Online would know that you would either have a level 1 or level 2 user credential. However, that has now phased out, and what we have now is ArcGIS Online user types, which is really a role-based licensing model. What we're trying to do is to respond to the workflow needs of our customers who perhaps would not need all the different apps that would be available with a creator user type, for example, and we look in that. So the first part of the continuum, what we have is the viewer, which was formerly your level 1. The viewer type, as I mentioned, is formerly your level 1, which allows you just to view. So what you do is just view with that one. Then we have editing for editors and field workers. We have those who will be authoring maps, who are your creator and your GIS professional. The GIS professional is really new, and what it does is gives you access not just to Office applications, but also your GIS Pro. This is one of the few ways outside of a desktop suite that you can get ArcGIS Pro. So what comes with these user types in terms of apps? Well, for the viewer user type, you only get the essential app package. As I said earlier, all you'll be doing is just viewing. So what you will get with this is your Esri story maps, operations dashboard for your monitoring of the data collection, map and scene viewer, configurable apps, and web app builder. For the field worker user type, it's really for field officers, those who will be going out into the field to do data collection. And those kind of staff will get your collector for ArcGIS, survey 1, 2, 3 for ArcGIS, ArcGIS quick capture, workforce for ArcGIS, to name a few. These persons in the field apps bundle, field worker user type, would also get the essential apps. The Office app bundle comes with your creator user type to your GIS professional. And this user type will also be able to get all the apps in the essential, all the apps in the field apps bundle, and those in the Office apps bundle. This is where you will use your ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS Maps for Office, ArcGIS Maps for SharePoint. What is field operations? Field operations is really a way of optimizing efficiency in field operations with the power of location intelligence. So it's really taking the power of location anywhere. It's our way of modernizing your workflows, supporting field operation workflows where you can bring your business data and maps into the field through the apps that are available in ArcGIS Online. The industries that you are joining here from today are many and varied with differing workflows. Let's look at some of the key industries: utilities, natural resources, government, health, and human services. As you can see, the use cases are many and varied. You can see here what might apply to you. Let's look at a few of them. Hydrant, for example. Hydrant inspections, where you want to do your inspection in terms of increasing your accuracy and completeness of your asset inventory. You also, in terms of your Valve inspection, you want to ensure efficient asset performance while reducing risk of failing assets. So this field operation phase and life cycle, what is it and how can each app help in this process? Well, for the first part of the process, what you do is plan your assignment. What is it that I'm going to do? What particular workflow am I working with? In the planning phase, of course, you use your ArcGIS desktop applications for this. Your ArcGIS Pro, your ArcMap, your ArcGIS Online to create your map products that you will be using in the field on your field applications. You also need in this phase to figure out where the work needs to be done and how many people you need to deploy for the task. Secondly, you'd want to coordinate your workflow. And our app for coordination is really Workforce for GIS, for ArcGIS. This app allows you to deploy your staff for the field, find the location of your crew, for example, creating your assignment, and we look at that further. After you've planned and coordinated the assignment, the next thing you need to do is to get to the field to collect the data. And our field app for mobilizing into the field is Navigator for ArcGIS. And it's really an app to help people get into places. It's a routing app. Now, here's the meat of the matter. I've planned, I've coordinated, I've navigated to the site. Now I need to actually collect data because this is the aim of the assignment. And you can use our popular collector for ArcGIS to do same. In addition, you can use Survey123 to help with data capture. So your collector and Survey123 together doing your inspections, collecting your polyline features, for example. After you've collected your data or during the process of collecting your data, you'd want your superiors, those in management position, they may not know anything about GIS, but they want to monitor the progress of the assignment and see where you are. It's really a nice way to look good before your boss. And this app for monitoring is Operations Dashboard, where those back in office can actually see the progress of the assignment that you are doing in real time. So here's the complete cycle with the apps for planning, coordinating, navigating, capturing, and monitoring data. I've also added to the capture phase drone to map for ArcGIS, which is for imagery collection to process your 2D and 3D outputs that you can use, integrate back into your ArcGIS Pro, for example. Of course, each app is able to work independently of each other. They can work in isolation, but it is very good when you pair them, it actually enhances your workflows. The pairing vary colossally. You can view them. Let's look at three, for example. Collect and monitor. You use your Survey123 and your collector to capture your data, and then you can feed that data into your operations dashboard where those in office can monitor the progress of the assignment. Secondly is the Workforce Launchpad. Workforce is really like a solvent app where it allows you to melt in the other applications in so you can work and launch them from there. So you can use Workforce to create the assignment, and from there you can launch your Navigator to get to the field of the assignment, and also launch through a pop-up your Survey123 and your collector for your inspection and your data collection. Let's look at the apps in detail. Collector for ArcGIS. Collector for ArcGIS is a map-centric application for collecting your data. Please note that it can work offline. So if you're out in the field collecting data and you have no Wi-Fi connection, for example, there's no need to worry, as you can collect data offline. If you're collecting it and you're connected to the network, what it does is that it feeds in real time back into your office map, whether it is ArcGIS Online map, for example. You can also peer collector. It depends on your workflow. If you want, for example, a higher accuracy, you can peer collector with your GNSS devices, for example, Bad Elf and Trimble devices. Survey 123. Like collector for ArcGIS, Survey 123 is a field application. However, unlike collector, it is a form-centric application. It does incorporate map in the survey as you can geopoint your location. But what it really is that it creates surveys that you can use in the field to collect data you're doing an inspection, for example. This we have for our clients as forms are about the natural way of collecting data. Not everyone is a GIS geek, but definitely normal people out there would be used to using forms to collect data. It's a cross-platform application, meaning it works on your Windows 7, 8, 10, Mac, Linux, iOS, pretty much across all the different devices. And you would need minimal training to be able to create your surveys. So what you're really doing is you're asking questions, you're creating your survey, designing and publishing, you're bringing it out into the field, getting your answers, which is your data, and then you're feeding that back into your office map that you've created. With Survey 123, you can now actually publish your surveys by sending the link to your surveys on your social media platforms. So it's a modern way of really doing an inspection. Without the use of paper, you're going out into a weather that perhaps is rainy, you don't have to worry because it's digital. So you can post the link in your social media platforms to your survey, or you can scan a QR code. So you can have your clients, those out in the field doing the inspection, they can always scan a QR code to bring up the survey. I have here a QR code and a link. You can type that link in your browser, or you can just scan the QR code with your QR code reader to take the survey to tell us how you think, what you think about this presentation. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to scan the code with your QR reader, or just type the link in your browser. Thank you so much for participating. Here is Workforce for ArcGIS, which is really your way of coordinating your fieldwork. You are bringing all your apps together that we've discussed so far, your field apps. You're getting awareness in the field where the staff is and what work have they done. What Workforce for ArcGIS really is an app that integrates the other apps, as I mentioned. You can think of it as your to-do list in the field that you do not have to pick up at the office. All you need to do is log in, and the app would be populated with what you need to do. You can launch your collector and your Survey 123, your Navigator from your Workforce to get to the site to collect your data. You use your Workforce to create the assignment firstly, and then after creating the assignment, you then decide who would be the dispatcher, who would be the field crew, and then you send them out into the field. They'll be able to look on the Workforce app that is available from your Google Play Store. app store that you can download freely, which works with the website of it back in Office where the Office personnel would have created the assignment. So once you're in the field with the app, what you can do then is to hit start that you have started the assignment. This can also be determined where an assignment needs to be priority. For example, it can be highlighted in Workforce. Once you hit start, the Office would be alerted that you started the assignment. If you're on a break, for example, if you're out of the zone of the data collection, out of that parameter, then it would automatically update back to Office with a warning. This is a very good application to coordinate your assignment. Navigator for ArcGIS. What Navigator for ArcGIS really is an app that gives driving direction. You want to be able to get to a particular site, you can do that. You can also create your own maps in your ArcGIS Pro. While Navigator already comes with its own map that gives direction, you can create your own maps and integrate it into the Navigator app. For example, where you may have footpaths, for example, that would not already be in the map that is available. Explorer for ArcGIS. Explorer for ArcGIS is designed to help you bring your ArcGIS Pro maps, for example, with your attributes in the field. What Explorer for ArcGIS really helps you to do is to take your map into the field, and once you're in the field, you can always do markups, and some minimal markups you can do or some sketches or some notes to yourself that perhaps you're doing an inspection of a forest and you want to highlight that a fallen tree, for example. You can do your sketches, you can do your annotations, which you can then use at a later date in your reporting. You do not have to worry about this sketch or this markup affecting your base map data, as it is not an edit, but a markup, a simple markup. The Explorer app is also downloadable freely from your Google Play Store, from your App Store, for example. However, if you do not have ArcGIS Online credentials to log into your Workforce app, because these field applications, you would need at least a level 2 subscription which is really Creator now, to be able to use these apps. However, if you do not have ArcGIS Online, you can always use Explorer with the map that is provided online. Of course, in the data collection phase, data needs to be managed, data needs to be monitored. And our monitoring app is really Operations Dashboard for ArcGIS. And this allows you to monitor things in real time, seeing maps of the data with the indicators that you've created in terms of your numbers, your charts, and your widgets in your Operations Dashboard. You'll be able to see the information coming in, updates automatically generated. And of course, as I mentioned, this is done in real time. So once you've assigned and dispatched your field crew, once they start the data collection process, all of that is fed back into Office so that those who are monitoring the progress of the assignment can see what's happening, what has been completed, where are we falling short, is data collection process moving as efficiently and rapidly as planned, for example. Operations Dashboard works on your devices. It runs as a web-based application on your laptops, for example, your tablets. Perhaps you're questioning, what about mobile phones? Well, you can always configure your dashboard apps for mobile phones, and zero coding is required. So where you may be wondering, would I need to be able to code? No, this is okay. You can just configure it, the dashboard, in your mobile applications. The use cases of operations dashboard are many and varied. No matter where you are from, whether you're into business, retail, fleet management, disaster management, just to name a few, you can always use operations dashboard to monitor the progress of your assignments. The fire department in California, for example, use operations dashboard to monitor fire incidences and occurrences and the response of the fire department to the incidences. This information, of course, is fed in real time, looking at cost of damage, response of the department, aid, for example. One of our new release is Tracker for ArcGIS. This is our way of meeting customer needs who are looking into fleet management, for example. Tracker for ArcGIS is a new capability of ArcGIS that allows your organization to track known location of your assets. You want to track the progress of movement of your assets, then this is the app for you. So the app, while it has a website where persons in the office are able to see track the movement of assets, the field officer with the Tracker mobile app is really the person that has control over the app. So where you're wondering, you don't really want anybody to be tracking your every movement, you can always configure your settings for tracking to be done within work time. And once work is through, the tracking will be finished until the next working day. You can set the tracking, for example, to upload every 10 minutes back in office so that the movement of your assets can be tracked. You can see where last they were, lag time, for example. This is the app for fleet management. Our newest release of data collection app is Quick Capture, which actually is fully released today. What ArcGIS Quick Capture, as the name suggests, Quick Capture is, it really helps persons who do not have any GIS knowledge to be able to do GIS work. There's no prerequisite skill to be able to use Quick Capture. In fact, all you need to be able to do is to push a big button to be able to use Quick Capture. Kindly watch this video for more information.
Introducing ArcGIS Quick Capture, the rapid data collection app. ArcGIS Quick Capture is the simplest way to capture field observations. Record features while on the road. Digitise tracks as you ride. Or simply capture data on the go. Record GIS data with a single tap on your device. And send it back to the office in real time without stopping. The app's intuitive big button interface requires no training at all. Record a location, photo and observation type with a single tap. Store data as points, lines or polygons. Record multiple features simultaneously. Work online and offline on iOS, Android and Windows. Customise your Quick Capture projects to optimise fieldwork. Increase productivity while scouting or capturing data at speed. When you're done in the field, Quick Capture data is ready to use in ArcGIS. Gain insights from the field that you can use right away for better decision making. Use Quick Capture whenever you need to collect high-quality spatial data fast. Use it for aerial surveys, in emergency response, or for agriculture, transportation and public safety. whatever you want to capture. It all starts with the touch of a button.
Thank you for viewing that video. As was said, as was mentioned, it's a really rapid way of collecting data, and it's very easy to use. All you need to do is to be able to push a big button. It works offline, as was mentioned, and it works both online and can work offline as well. If you want to be able to use quick capture, you need ArcGIS Online, as I mentioned, or if you're using ArcGIS Enterprise, so your portal for ArcGIS, you would have at least need to be at 10.7.1 to be able to use quick capture. Quick capture also supports external GPS devices. So where you may be looking for higher accuracy, you can always pair the device, pair the app with your bad elf and Trimble devices, for example, just to name a few. Now, I've saved deliberately ArcGIS story maps for last, as this is my favorite app. We're joining here today from the Caribbean, and while we may have many differences, I believe that a good story, telling a good story, we all have in common, either telling it or be able to read or hear it. ArcGIS Story Map, what it really is, it allows you to combine narrative text with images and maps, for example, to create a good story for business, marketing. If you're into wildlife preservation or wildlife management, for example, you want to be able to share your stories for others to buy into your cause, you can always use story maps to do this. I will look now at a use case that I've created with the applications. You can always create based on your needs, whatever your needs may be. You can always set up your own dashboard. Set up your own dashboard. So here is a web map of the Mona area in Kingston, Jamaica, around the University of the West Indies. What this map is really showing is how Hurricane Barry, which I've just created as a situation, impacted surrounding communities. This map, you could scan a barcode that was in the slide as a citizen. So you're really putting power in the hands of your citizens to be able to scan a barcode and update their information as to where they affected. For example, let's look at this structure. This is within the Golden Circle area near the University of the West Indies, where a lot of students may live. And it's saying that it's a townhouse, and there was a $20,000 cost to, because this was just affected by rain. So there wasn't any really serious damage here. But let's zoom in some more to see if there are any changes in the area. When you get over here, for example, that is close to the Hope River, within the course of the river, you find that there was actually a major damage done to a home, a multifamily home, with a cost of $2.5 million to the homeowners. So citizens are able to scan the barcode and update the information to say if they were affected by the disaster. Let's look at the dashboard. On this dashboard, you can also see how the residents have been affected, even business places as well. The dashboard, you can set up your own widgets based on the needs of your dashboard. I have here a road closure along the Mona Road, which really helps citizens to know that can view the dashboard, or those in disaster management to be able to announce that there has been a road closure here so that citizens will not be affected by same. Whatever the structure is, it also shows the damage, the cost estimates to the citizens. You can also view your gauge to see what costs, the number of residential properties that were affected. And to the left, you are able to see the kind of damage and the cost of damage, whether it's from the layers here, whether it's becomes inaccessible, just affected, or there has been minor damage. Here is the story map that I am creating about this, the impact of this event. It is not finished as yet, but it's really how Hurricane Barry affected Jamaica. Discover Spatial Innovision Limited's response. So the story indicates that it's a Category 4 hurricane around and this is really looking at areas around the Hope River watershed, how they may be affected. So here's my study area. I've highlighted with this square and the arrow showing the routes that I took to be able to conduct the assignment. The field crew be able to conduct the assignment. Here is our solution. We use ArcGIS Online and the feed applications here, Survey 123, Collector for ArcGIS, Operations Dashboard, to be able to bring an efficient solution to our citizens. I've attached the dashboard so that persons can view for their own monitoring and reporting. Here's the web app that I've also attached as well, that citizens can update their information. Kindly note that you can also print the application. Scanning this QR code, you can update your information. You can actually go ahead right now and play around with it by scanning and just indicate that you were affected, if you were. I've also attached this link for persons to read more and to be able to connect with the Met Office of Jamaica to see what they're sharing on Twitter about the assignment, about the event rather. And here is our team that went out and actually did the assignment. So you can always just create your own dashboard for your own needs. ArcGIS Online, I consider to be more than a product, more than a service. I think of ArcGIS Online as a destination where you can go and have a great time. Thanks for joining. Kindly let us know your questions at this time.